So, in today's lesson for Old Norse, we will be talking about the strong verbs now that we have finished the weak verbs. Yet, in this lesson, we will not go into specifics. That will be the subject in the upcoming lessons. Instead, I will give you some important information, which we will need for the upcoming lessons, as well as some additional information about the weak verbs, as we now can see them in contrast. And this is something very important in my LAT, language acquisition technique. And there I say, it almost feels like I actually know what I'm doing. By now, it should be clear Old Norse verbs are either weak or strong. But this distinction can't be made by simply looking at the infinitive alone, but by how verbs form their past tense, which we will get to at a later lesson. Here are a few things I would still like to mention in this context already. Beginning with the strong verbs. They form their past tense by changing the root vowel. Let's take the third person singular as an example. Taka becomes talk. Gefa, gaf. Vinna, vann. To take, give, and win. If we look in English, we have took, gave, and won. So, as you can see, in English it is very similar. Next, the weak verbs. They consist of stems and endings. Those stems are consisting in turn of roots and suffixes. Thus, by removing the a ending from the infinitive, we find the verb root. For example, kalla, kall, mailla, mail, telja, telg, and vakka, vak. Now, weak verb stems in a past tense are distinguishable by having a suffix containing the related consonants the, or t, so-called dental suffixes. For example, kalla, kalavi, telja, taldi, and maila, mailti. The last one means to speak. Now, if we look again to English, to call, tell, or have, that would be called, told, and had. Even here, as you can see, in English, we have pretty much the same. This shows how closely related Old English and Old Norse actually were. So, if you want, here's a little exercise. Identify those verbs as either weak or strong verbs. The translation is underneath if you want to translate them. Now, back to the strong verbs. Here, much like with the weak verbs, we have different groups, 7 to be more precise. But first, I must talk about the principal parts. You see, strong verbs have 5 principal parts. Let us look at the verb gefa as an example. So, we have the infinitive, gefa, then the third person singular in the present tense, han gefre, the same in the past, han gaf, then the third person plural in the past, ther gafu, and the past participle, in this case masculine nominative, singular, var gefin. Understanding those principal parts is one of the many shortcuts for mastering Old Norse, because the principal parts provide the stems, to which one simply adds the endings. So, using gaffer as an example again. The past singular at endings to the stem, which again would be gaff. So we have gaff, gaffed, and gaff again. And the past plural to the stem gav with a long a. For example, gavum, gavud, gavu. And that's it for today's lesson already. In the next lesson, we will be talking about the 7 classes, those 7 groups. I'm not sure yet if this will be in just one lesson or like we have done it with the weak verbs over the course of the next few lessons.